make us come in more human, better human-like this week, or what?
Well, I think we needed it after the end of last week.
Yeah, I like I said, we could have come into Weezer's the sweater song.
Ooh.
Would you like to destroy my sweater?
Drag it from Foxhole to
Fort
UN.
Oh,
Holy
man.
shit. Yo, that got a lot of mileage out of it with other people too, though.
Everybody that knew, that didn't even know was laughing because we were just beside ourselves.
Yeah.
And then people that knew who he was too were like, "Oh my god!"
I never knew who it was. It was the how it happened was earlier in that episode. I said, "Have you ever?" We were talking about Dravecki and his arm,
right.
And I said, "Has something that's just terrible? Just you laugh, you can't help it,
right?
You laugh like a funny bone thing, like it hurts, it's fucked up, but you laugh." I said, and then you just by pure coincidence, I said we had the guy with the socks, and you're like, "Yeah, like the guy with the sweaters in Kingston. He had an untimely demise."
That's right.
And I'm like, I don't know who that was.
Oh man.
But then if you know how far Foxhole Avenue to Port Ewan is.
It's a fucking 4-mile stretch.
But then the dude gets run over by a train. There's nothing left of him, but they know because there's 7 miles of sweaters.
That's right.
It is so fucked.
A 4-mile Afghan stretch from Foxhole to Port Ewan.
Were there any cable knits in there, you think?
Probably.
Was that for his sitar solos?
It was for his sitar solos.
Yeah. The week?
We can skip our weeks, man.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. My thing came back. It's a displaced fracture. You know, the proper thing to do would be to put the piece back in there, screw it back together. It would probably put me out of commission about 4 months. You know, I'm that asshole. I try to tough through everything, so I think I'm going to probably be about another 10 days, and I'm gonna give it a go. See what I can do. See, you know, the improvement, you know, to mobility, whatever for the time is, you know, I feel pretty protected and safe with it. So, you know, beyond that, I think I'll be all right. I'm gonna get through it. You know what I mean? It is a pretty substantial break. Like to see it.
If you said there's like always a plan B.
Yeah. Well,
You're kind of taking plan B.
The doctor was like, "Well, I know you're not going to take plan A, so let's come up with plan B." And plan B is if there's, you know, more dislocation or onset problems where things don't continually to get better, then I'll go to plan B, which will be probably like a 3 to 4 month. I'll be out of everything for 3 to 4 months.
Can the bone as is not heal on its own?
What it is where it's broken. I guess the way he explained it to me, it's more like a pear shape.
Yep.
Pointier towards the top of your shoulder,
right,
which would make sense.
Yep.
And then it becomes more pear. I broke about a third of the pear at the bottom part.
Oh.
And that's where it would kind of just slide out of the socket.
Right.
Without that piece, he goes, it'll almost like wear it off, like round it right off. So it just, there's nothing to like keep it latched in there at all. Yeah. He said, so, you know, with that piece broken out, it's sitting out here somewhere. You know, the idea is to put it here and screw it back together so everything holds.
Right.
Everything seems to be okay. Like, you know, I can put my arm up this week. Easy. You know what I mean? But he says, you know, it's been 9 days. Go another 9 days. See 9 days, 2 weeks.
Right.
See where you're at. And I'm going to give it a go. So if I give it a go and it works, I'll figure it out. And then I can kind of, you know, set my time up later if I need it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But not going into the holidays, heating season, everything else. And all of a sudden you have no money, no job, no nothing.
Right.
So, and on that end, it is better. It's good. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I saw you got a new little Prius looking car.
Yeah.
Little neat on your horn.
Nah, it's kind of more.
No, it's actually it looks so nice.
It is.
It's a nice car.
Solid car.
Was it? Do you know if like it was a travel? Like somebody probably just drove that up and down the thruway to work or something.
Came from New Bedford, Mass. Was the because it had just gotten inspected in Mass too, and then he bought it, I guess, from a dealer over there or private sale, something to that effect.
Well, the reason I'm saying is the mileage on it and the year on it, and I would
remind about 20,000 a year. So
that makes me think like somebody's probably just doing a lot of traveling, but
and
if it's their work vehicle, it's not terrible wear and tear, and they probably kept good records on it.
Oh yeah,
and the body looks good, the interior looked nice. So you know, here's the thing that we do, and we make good of shitty situations. It's just all you can do. That's all you can do.
Lemons out of lemonade.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many times they can throw shit in the fan before you just go,
fuck it.
You know, let's just turn the fan a little.
After a while, you stop making chicken salad, you start eating the chicken shit.
Yeah.
But, last week was just a fucking stress week, trying to get everything to line up and fall into place by a certain day. And through the grace of God, it happened for me when I was able to pick the car up Friday, like I said, like you alluded to. And Carly found something that she's picking up on Thursday this week.
Something else happened on Friday, though.
Yes.
For the first time
in 30 years.
In 30 years, we got a playoff win.
Yep.
Which is awesome. That was good. Rather win ugly than lose pretty. I'll tell you that. But yeah, listen. You get through those games so you can get to the next one. That's all it is. It
was ugly football week because...
Survive and advance.
Yeah. That was a Jet-Giant game, too. That was hideous to watch.
Yeah. Not the Cowboys. Cowboys kicked ass.
They did. Dak threw for 4 touchdowns, I think.
Probably,
CD Slam had a good day.
Yep.
Tommy DeVito is your Giant starting quarterback going into this week.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't even know what the fuck
I don't know. At this point...
He went to CW Post. He's a Jersey kid. But I don't even know where he played college ball.
I don't either. He sounds like he'd play at like Rutgers or some New York
Jersey
City
school.
type. Yeah. Iona Prep, some shit like, you know what I mean? What else is down there?
3 times for -1 yard or something like that. They went to straight handoffs the second half. He threw.
I think Dable's overrated. I almost want to see Danny Dimes and Saquon go somewhere so they can have some kind of a career.
Yeah.
Because Saquon's got 5 years if he's lucky left.
A 1-year contract was probably his best move, honestly.
Yeah, because he can get the hell out of there.
And now he's getting the hell out of there. So.
Yeah, because they're terrible. And like I didn't want to get into the back and forth with Giants fans, but the idea that I had was, and I have had, was last year everything broke the Giants' way, and they won these barely at the end of the games. They hung around and won. This year, it's not happening.
Right, it doesn't mean you're.
So it doesn't mean you were a good coach last year. It was just shit broke
lucky.
Your way.
Yeah,
right, it broke your way.
But,
did they win a playoff game? Yes,
sure.
they did. I'm not downplaying that. What I'm saying is it might have been more you were riding momentum last year than he's really a good coach.
Right.
And this year, you just kind of see what it is.
Bad day for quarterbacks all through the league, though.
Kirk Cousins done. Yeah.
Tyrod got hurt. Who else? Shit, there was a bunch. Stafford got hurt.
Well, there was a stat.
Time. In college, I don't know if you saw Grayson McCall.
He went down?
Done.
For what?
Concussion.
Oh, yeah?
And coach said he's probably he's probably played his last snap at Coastal.
That's wild, especially for how big of a prospect is.
We're just fucking going in a few weeks.
Yeah. So what I was going to say to you is there was a stat that by halftime, 6 players between the Jets and Giants went out off the game. Like, there's something at MetLife, like Jimmy Hoffa or something.
The Jets were down to their third but you know what I'm saying? Center.
They changed the turf there, and people are still getting hurt like crazy.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah. The third string center, they lost the first 2 in the first 2 quarters. Third guy, they're lucky they just brought him up off the practice squad. First snap, fumble, lost. And that's what ended up giving. Well, no. They got good field position because Jermaine Johnson came in and leveled DeVito after he was in the grasp.
Yeah.
So it put them down in deeper in territory, and DeVito got his first NFL touchdown. But it was a shitty game. It was a sloppy game. Sloppy as fuck.
So there was a debate, and we don't have to take up much time with it, but I kind of do agree with him. A guy on Barstool yesterday was like, I love football. If it's on TV, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
But he said it is probably the worst of the games played. He goes that they're terrible. You get 22 games, if you have X amount of games, if you get 3 good ones.
Right.
Out of the so what's there? 32 teams, so that's 16 games.
Minus, if you don't have bye weeks, which you didn't have any this week, so
Right. So 16 games,
right.
and you had 3 good ones.
Yeah.
So that means you had, whatever, 12, 14, 13 stinkers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Weird shit. Weird.
Yeah, but
one of the better games.
And one of the guys that was on the thing, the college guy goes, yeah, pro football is uglier because you get paid to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
You get paid to not go hard. You
right.
know what I mean? As hard as you can.
One of the better games of the week was Thursday night with the Bills and the Bucs.
Yeah.
Baker, listen, put it in Godwin's chest on a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
He drops it. If he catches that ball, extra point, they win by a point.
Right.
So I don't want to hear the naysayers about Baker Mayfield. The kid's a good quarterback.
He is. And you come to figure out that Cleveland's the problem.
Cleveland's definitely the problem. 100%. It just that franchise is fucking snake bait.
It's almost like since it went back to Cleveland right. is just cursed.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
The Ravens have gone on to do big things. So.
Yeah. And one last thing about the NFL last week. Did you see the Oilers throwback video?
Loved it.
Oh my God.
Loved it.
Everybody loves it.
Will Levis was slinging.
He was. And then him and his girlfriend broke up, and she's a smoke show.
Yeah,
they broke up in September. I know.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, he will. But it's funny. There's a couple funny TikToks I'll have to send you after.
Yeah.
All right. So what made you think about this idea that you got here?
Just because we've both been in we've had a rough couple of weeks. It's like you said, trying to make lemons out of lemonade. How do you get better?
All right. Here we go. Top 5 things that make your bad mood better.
Yep.
I'll start. Number 5.
Right.
Tony Baker animal voiceovers.
What?
If you look him up on TikTok, it's Tony Baker. He's a comedian, and he does the animal voiceovers.
Okay.
And it's always the cat. He goes, I'll give you these fresh skippity peps. And then he has then the rams or the sheep. Cram! But he does all these voiceovers, and he's perfect, dude. It'll be like, he does any type of animal. He does them, and this will fall into, if we do a rabbit hole later, I guarantee you, if you turn one of these on, you're going down a rabbit hole of all his different ones because they're that fucking funny.
I guess it's kind of like Bobmentary.
Bobmentary, yeah, but like it's just
clean.
No. He says some.
All right.
Yeah, he says some foul shit, but yeah, it's always like animal videos, and he does he talks over them, and they all got different voices, and But the cats, because you know how cats like to smack shit.
Oh yeah.
He calls them skippity paps, fresh skippity pap.
All right, my number 5. Sometimes you just need to take a nap.
Oh, naps definitely.
Naps are awesome.
Yeah, I went more like in the physical form, like not like a nap. I meant like something that would take me out of it. But yeah, right. Naps. Well, we call them crappy nappies. When you're in a crappy mood and you take a nap, the kids big time. When kids are little and they're like 2, to even like 10, at 2 p.m., everybody's ready for a nap. Yeah, or 47, yeah.
So, yeah, no, they can, sometimes it's only to snap you out of it. You're just not feeling good. It's a shitty day, shitty weather.
Right.
Today is a prime example.
Oh, yeah, I could have napped all day and I was running all over town.
Yep.
All right, my number 4, Family Guy.
Yeah.
This pulled me out of a really, really, really dark place.
Yeah.
That Family Guy, sometimes you're in just a shitty mood and that stupid, funny stuff just gets you that giggle that just breaks it and you're like, I'm going to be all right. It's just a moment.
You can't look at Peter and stay. You can't listen to Peter and stay mad or sad.
No, you get a good cutaway.
Ah, you've had
yeah,
Ooh.
yep.
My number 4, plan a trip, whether it's real or fictitious.
Just the joy of it.
Yeah, you get into the little mindset. Of
Like, oh, how much would it be to go here?
Yeah, a little getaway.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Greece. What do you think?
Sometimes
you got it all figured out, and meanwhile you're like, yeah, well, if I had 20 grand sitting around, I would go.
You know, that was part of how Graceland for me happened last year. You know, the Lisa Marie thing, at least with her passing, and then I was like, well, how expensive would it actually be to go?
And then you're like, holy shit, it's doable.
It's doable, and it did it.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. I think, it just gets you in that whole mind frame of doing something nice. So.
Nice. My number 3, podcasting.
Yeah.
We always find a way to laugh about a shitty situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just figure it out. You know what I mean? I've come in here fucking irate before, and it gets better. And you know, and when we're not looking for it, that none of that last week was planned, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh to right now. I'd laugh right now if we started talking about it again.
My laugh game.
Right, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is like, you'll get giggling about it later. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the type of shit that happens. You start laughing about it later.
Yeah, or laughing about other people laughing about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, absolutely.
And every once in a while, like, I'll say it as an honorable mention. Sorry, go ahead.
Number 3. Number 3. Going to a favorite or nostalgic spot.
Like some people go by the river, the water, whatever,
Yep.
wherever you like to go.
Yep.
And it cheers you up, get your juices flowing.
Listen, sometimes it's just going to Barnes and Noble, grabbing a magazine and coffee for half an hour, and all right, I had my coffee, I had my caffeine.
Takes you out of your mood.
Get you out of that.
You're a big shopper. You could walk around.
My friend.
No more?
No, that's
that's
higher on my
okay.
list.
Okay. Yeah. All right. See, man, I know Highland.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, auditions. I am a sucker for auditions.
Like
AGT, The Voice, American Idol.
Yeah.
There's nights I'm sitting in my room fucking, oh my God.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean? There's nights of that, but there's nights that you're just happy.
Yeah.
You just like, you're in a shitty mood. You listen to these people singing, and they got this awesome talent. And I don't just put auditions. I didn't just put singing. Like some of these kids that do magic or these things on America's Got Talent. It's just stuff like that it takes your mind off the bullshit and just lets you focus on something that makes you happy. And I'm a big sucker for magic too.
Or the fun ones. Like I remember this little girl came out, and she was all like shy and not looking at the camera. And then the music starts. It was Black Crowes, and she went off the fucking deep end.
Yep, she sure did.
And another one was an old lady who ended up doing like AC/DC.
Yeah. Yep.
That was crazy too. Like,
yep.
Or
the drummer lady that was like 80.
Yeah. The guy that was the Subway singer for years and years and years, and he finally gets a shot. Yeah. Again, that's all it is. It's all feel good stuff.
Yep.
Number 2, listening to certain music or songs.
Oh, 100%.
That can work in.
It can work both ways
because you can make your miserable list.
You could be simmering,
right.
Not really not happy. You could be right floating in the middle,
right.
And all of a sudden it feels like every song makes you remind you of a fucking different time. That, you know, a girlfriend, a breakup, and then all of a sudden you're like, "What the fuck are you doing to me right now?"
Click.
But it can be the other way too. You get these happy songs that take you out of stuff.
Yep.
And my number 1. Can you guess what it is?
No. I don't know. With you, it could be a million things.
No, it really can't.
What does that mean?
I'm a really like. There's one thing that snaps me out of a shitty mood, no matter what. My kids.
Yeah.
It's just my kids. You know me. I'm not a big hugger. I'm not a big emotional. Well, I'm an emotional person, but I'm not a big like contact person.
Right.
But when it comes to my kids, that's it. They could fix anything just by seeing their face. It lights up my world. So that's the number one thing to me. It'll always be the number one thing to me. Even when I'm fighting with them, just to see them and be able to hug them, that will always be the easiest way to make my bad day good.
Right. I look forward to my daily texts or phone calls from the boys.
Yeah.
It's always good. But I didn't go that personal. I kept my number one because you already named it. I love shopping. I love shopping. It's bad.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's gotten better. A lot of it's been window shopping, but just shit in general. Yeah, hop on the Nike app, and all of a sudden, fucking 3 more pairs of shoes are showing up.
So, being friends with you and being somewhere, that can take me from a great mood into a fucking absolute irate tirade. Because you are that guy that can shop for hours and buy nothing.
I can.
Totally. And I can't. I'm like, aisle 7, I know where it is. I pick it up. I walk to the register. I'm out.
I've gotten a lot better as far as that goes because I just don't like going out of stores anymore. I don't know. COVID fucked it up for me. COVID fucked it up and it made it almost too easy to not go out.
Well, I remember you used to go up and go to Target and they'd come out and just bring you your shit.
I still do.
Really?
Yeah, I never go in.
Why?
I just hate going in the store now.
That blows my mind because you used to love going in.
Yeah. Now
grocery shopping, you disappear for hours.
Right. You know what it is now? It's like now, especially, boys are older. There's no more wrestling figures to hunt down. There's no more. I buy 3 video games a year, and it's always updates to last year's sports games.
Yeah.
And now I'm usually price hunting, and everything's cheaper on Amazon. So.
And now it gets delivered to your door. It's not
within a day.
It's more hunting on your phone than hunting
realistically,
in the store. Yeah.
And I just don't I've gotten to the point where I'm not just a big crowd fan either.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I definitely get it. My honorable mention I was going to say was it's a combination of a couple things. It's driving around with some music on and some buddies in the car.
Yeah.
Because even though we missed 35 turns and went down Paint Chip Road, that made a better mood.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about somebody sounding deaf.
Yeah.
Holla. I guarantee you he giggled that night over that.
Better look next year.
Yeah. Better look next year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? So that is the type of things. Like, so what does take you from a bad mood and turn it good?
Yeah.
What are some, and some people are small things. A cup of coffee in the morning. They're not morning people. Their coffee is their thing. That's
my life.
I'm sure people that smoke.
The first cigarette of the day.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people, your vices are probably a big part of that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But, some people, it might be dancing, coming home, putting on music, cooking. Yeah. Cooking's very therapeutic for people when they're in a bad mood.
I don't mind laundry a lot of times. I don't mind going to a laundromat.
I don't, you know what? It's funny. I don't mind going to that laundromat.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The clientele is clean.
Yeah.
They keep it nice there. It's relaxing.
Yeah, it's not dusty. It's not dirty.
Right.
The machines are all brand new and work nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're going to get your clothes dirtier than when you
in. Yeah.
But, it's just weird shit. Little things.
All right. Let's move along then. All right. 5 crazy questions sponsored by Scalable Computers via Winnie.
Yes. Number 1. What does your dream home look like and where is it located?
Location's kind of hard to say because it's going to be, I would say probably somewhere if it's not here, right in town where I've always been, it would be Knoxville, Tennessee. Classic look ranch. I want 1 floor. Something that's like traditional. Could look good at any time. It's timeless. You know what I mean?
Pretty basic.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Nothing super crazy. I'd like a little shop in the back that I could, tinker with cars or whatever kind of project. I'm all about like doing things with my hands if I can.
Yeah.
And I probably would have a basement because I just grew up in a house that had no basement.
Right.
Everything was always just fucking. You had to pull out 17 things to get one thing.
Right.
You know, it was always put your winter clothes away, and then you had to move them to get to this, to get to that.
Yeah.
So I'd want at least a basement, but very uncluttered. Like, I think in our world and what we do professionally,
Right.
it doesn't leave room to have clutter. You got to kind of.
Oh my god, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
What if what if it was you could pick your location, your street, you had your little workshop, and they were going to give you the house, but it had to look like the Brady Bunch house. Would you still take it?
Fuck yeah.
All right, cool.
Brady Bunch house is cool.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 2, who is your dream dinner guest, and what are you cooking for them?
Dream dinner guest?
Yeah.
Like a real person.
Right.
Okay. Ah, man. I don't know. Well, I cook a really good steak. I would probably do steak, baked potato, and my vegetables.
No, that's traditional.
And I would probably, I don't know, it would probably be the girl that completes me. I'm a fucking wild animal, dude. So the one that kind of like, shoots me fucking dart in your neck and calms me down.
Yeah.
That would probably be the ideal one.
All right.
Because you know me, I'm not, like a few times I thought I was there.
Now, what if, how about a celebrity?
Manuel Shrieky.
Who the fuck is that?
Sloane from Entourage.
Okay.
100% Sloane from Entourage. And if not her, it would be Elijah Dushku.
Okay, that's, yeah. Number 3, are you a realist, a pessimist, or an optimist?
Realist.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, but I've been one of the other at numerous times. Like, I think everybody is. It depends on how you feel about certain things. Somebody's always an optimist. Like, I think that's a mental illness, though. When you're always an optimist, like
Right.
you're always happy, how the fuck are you? What are you on?
Dude, do you not have bad days?
Right,
What the
right.
fuck?
Like somebody's always in a good mood. You know what I mean? Like you never see them. They're the people you worry about, like doing some wild shit. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, the pessimist is easy to fall into.
Oh, dude, and we know people. Holy shit!
Right. There are people that are
Like the sky can't be falling every day.
It's like, do you ever have a fucking good day?
Right. Like the sky can't always be falling.
Right. Let's see here. Number 4. Do you have any recurring dreams or nightmares?
I do have one. It's always like I'm trying to run up a hill and I can't really run up it. It's more like kind of on all fours, trying to like you're trying to get up the hill, and I don't know. It's probably because I'm under my blanket and you can never get grip to like go.
Okay.
You're just not getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had like a couple of recurring dreams, and I wouldn't be able to tell you right now. But if it happened tomorrow, I'd be like, "Holy fuck!" That's like
I've had that dream 100 times.
100 times I've had that dream.
Right.
Do you have any?
Not.
Don't you have one where you're in your pop's basement?
No, not so. I mean, no, not really. Not I can think of. Weird. Like it must be my psych meds. I have very vivid dreams all the time. Extremely vivid. And I can remember like sometimes 2 a night because I'll wake up
And then you go back to
and then I
sleep.
sleep and it's a fucking another dream. So
Yeah.
it's weird. Very vivid shit. Some of the scary ones are the worst ones. I think and a lot of them, it'll be weird because a lot of it, like the one I had a couple weeks ago, I was at Pop's house and I can't.
Have we not learned our lesson
Let's just buzz it for the
in
table.
4 years?
I didn't. I was trying to email my mom to tell her to call me tomorrow night. Yeah, I was at Pop's house and there was a tsunami.
Yeah, you told me this
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And when I woke up, I was on my back, gasping for fucking air. Well, I have sleep apnea, clearly. So I don't know if it.
You get your machine yet?
No, I'm still waiting on it. She said it'd be a couple weeks, so it's been a week this week. But yeah, so it was just fucking strange. It was like the bad dreams will be that, or I've actually fallen out of bed because of the dreams.
That shit kills people now.
Really?
Yeah. Um, Ex-girlfriend of mine's stepmother fell out of bed, probably only like 60 something years old, and died.
Wow.
Complications from it.
Would she break something or hit her head?
It probably broke something or hit her head. Yeah, but either, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird that shit like that.
I've heard this, you ever hear the thing that if you die in your dream, you die in real life?
No, I don't.
How would you know that?
Yeah, how would you know that? Christ, I was just going to say something and I forget what it was.
The funniest.
You ever have those ones where they're so real and you wake up and you're like,
yes.
Fuck, thank God that wasn't real.
Yes. Like recently, got up and I'm like, oh my God. It was it was like a really, okay. It's all back to me now. I am in the city. I am with my grandmother. We're wandering around New York. We go into this building and all of a sudden, the building gets locked down and we are surrounded by fucking terrorists. Gunshots are ringing out. We're looking for places to hide. Stairwells are blocked off by these terrorists. I'm going all through this building trying to find a way out. And I got separated from my grandmother. Don't know where the fuck she ended up. Somehow I ended up back out on one of the streets in the city. Like, where do I go from here? I actually made it out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fucking creepy.
You get up here and fucking sweating. You're like,
dude, got up. I'm like, oh my God, let's calm
thank
down.
God, yeah, thank God that wasn't
my chest is all tight. I'm like fucking.
Yeah, but what if
nervous.
what if in a alternate universe that's what's happening to you?
Oh my God, that'd be wild.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Crazy. The funniest dream where, like you said, you're trying to climb uphill but you're under the cover so you can't ever. I told you the football dream, right?
Yeah.
That was fucking. I mean, it hurt. We were on the goal line and I was getting the carry, and I took the handoff and I was diving for the fucking end zone, and somehow I am on all fours and pushed off of my feet and went headfirst into the fucking wall. Jammed my neck, woke myself up, woke up Carly. She's
what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm like, ow, my neck. She's like, what was that? I was like, I don't know, but I think I scored.
She's like, you clearly did it.
I was like, holy shit. Dreams are powerful.
They are, and they can be.
Yeah, I've had them to where, again, it's still like hours
Don't
later.
pee in your dreams.
Yeah. Hours later, though, and you're still like fucked up from them.
Yeah. And we all know this, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And if you're a woman, you know you do this, where you have a dream about your partner, and then you're mad at them all day, and it was just a dream. How many times have you woken up and you're like, fuck you? And you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
They just had a dream you did something, and they're just in their head.
Yeah.
You know?
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
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 Number 5. If you had a yacht,
yeah,
what would it be called?
If I had a yacht, what would it be called?
This is purely because of Sopranos.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I know what
you're saying. The guts.
Yeah.
Which means balls in Italian.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Gmac. It would probably be some version of Gmac something.
It's gotta be a witty name.
Yeah. I mean, but like what? It would have to be something that I'm about. You know, that I do, that I'm about. The Big Mick. I mean, you know, I'm not a boat person, so I wouldn't name. You know what I mean? Lucky. I don't know.
I don't know.
What would yours be?
I would like to.
Like your sons would be Yak.
It would have to be.
You know what I mean?
We've talked about. Carter and I have talked about it. The best boat to own is somebody else's.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fucking winterize it, take care of it. They're money pits, really. If you're not the guy that's on the boat every night, they're money pits. Man, it would have to be. I don't know. Take it deep. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Which take it deep works in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Taking it deep.
Yeah.
The deep taker. I don't know. I'd have to put a lot of thought into it.
That's the thing. So, like, to say it on a fly, you don't really know. Like,
unless you
kind of boat.
Unless you're a guy who's been shopping for a boat for years and knows exactly
what
they would want, stuff like that. And boats are different.
I don't know if I was like single and I had a bunch of chicks on it. It might be like the Knocker Locker or something.
There you go.
You know,
It's
you'd
not
have to have some kind of name with it.
it's not the bag. Can't be the bag boat. You're gonna have the
Yeah.
bag bus.
Oh man, bass. I don't know. It depend. It would depend on what it is. Well, you're saying like a yacht that you would hang out on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't.
Go on a
I don't
cruise to
know.
Hudson.
Right.
Or yeah. I don't know because guys that have all the guys that I know that have boats are all mostly fishing boats,
Yeah.
little tiny things.
Right. So if you're on like a fucking yacht, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know.
You'd have to be there.
And I'm not a boat guy, so I really wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But that's what you came up with, a fucking boat. We're in November, bro. We're talking about boats.
We're talking about boats. I don't know.
Ah, dude, cocaine and boats.
Oh, there you go. The 80s, part 2.
Miami Spice. Maybe something like that.
Might be all right. Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes, yeah.
So, we got to give a shout out to our buddy Ledsack. So, Friday night, I'm doing laundry over at our normal spot.
Yeah.
And I threw shit in the dryer. I was like, I got an hour. So, I fucking swung over to B-Dubs and had beer and appetizer. And I go to pay, and it was paid for.
Really?
Yeah, he was out with one of his daughters.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, the bald guy over there paid for it. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He would have a million funny fucking names.
Oh, for boats?
Yes.
He had 5,000 of them.
Yeah.
He's had a few.
But he's a boat guy.
Right.
So he'd have it all figured out.
What the fishing boat, they were asking for names.
Yeah.
At one point.
The stabbing cabin.
Yeah.
That would be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The earthworm.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, all right. We got to move along because we're going to get hung up on that.
We are.
All right, over and under, sponsored by Budget Blinds of East Greenbush via Gmac, and we have done this before. Number 1, muffins.
Underrated.
Underrated,
So underrated.
right?
Love them.
Yeah, I went to Bluestone, the coffee shop, the other day.
Yeah.
And I had a blueberry muffin there. Fucking so good, dude.
And on the other side of that, cupcakes, overrated.
Yeah.
The icing, they get on your fucking fingers.
Yeah, but do you remember when Dre did hers, Double D's? It was Dre Dentell's cupcakes, and she did them football flavored.
Yeah.
Remember, it was flag on the play. It was yellow cake with.
Right.
And she did them in a jar, so you ate it with a spoon.
That's different.
She cut them. Yeah. She cut them, and then she went like half a cupcake icing, half a cupcake more icing, and then you ate it with a spoon.
That's perfect.
And then red velvet. The challenge. She was smart with it. She should have stuck with it. But that, I agree with you. Yeah. Muffins, though, and the top of the muffin's the best part.
Yes. That's why you can go to a lot of the bakeries, I don't know, maybe about bakeries per se, but like Walmart and definitely ShopRite they sell just the muffin tops.
Yeah, well, that was a big Seinfeld thing.
The
top of the muffin.
The muffin top.
The muffin top.
That's
there
perfect.
It is. There it is. All right, number 2, maple leaf cookies.
You like them. I know you do.
Yeah, but I think they're overrated.
Yeah.
Very, like if it's a cake, like if they're only out this time of year,
underrated. It would be like,
but when you can get them all the time,
yeah. And it's not anything I'm ever going searching for. So
no, but they are good in like some milk in like a cold shitty day.
But in April, I don't want them.
No, I don't either.
It's weird.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll say overrated.
All right, overrated. I agree. Number 3, homemade syrup, because people are going to start tapping. Underrated, but it's always super thin.
Right, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
I know, but I like thick syrup.
All the grocery store shit is because they added corn syrup and all that other crap to preserve it.
How much syrup is the proper amount for a French toast or pancake?
See, I'm weird. I will drown them.
Really?
No, I don't.
Oh, I drown the fuck out of them.
I don't want the pancake or the French toast to start disintegrating because there's so much syrup.
Well, I mean,
I would actually prefer syrup in a bowl.
I dunk them the shit out of them.
Yes, and do it that way much more than
pouring it on top.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, cornucopias.
Overrated? The
Like,
fuck's the point?
What's the point? Like anymore, like it was a thing, because we're Gen X,
Right, like
80s.
Pilgrim?
In the 80s, you would always have. I can't even put my arm up. On Thanksgiving, you'd have a fucking. It would be a
The
decoration,
centerpiece, yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck is this
This
stupid thing?
wicker fucking horn.
Right, it looked like a gigantic bugle.
Yeah.
The chip bugles.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked like a bugle with like a couple oranges and a grape stuffed in it.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's fucking overrated.
Yeah, super overrated.
But
that's probably what we'll see.
But that's why our traditions are going to shit, because we're saying shit like that's overrated. All right, number 5. These are 2 separate ones, but same idea. No Shave November.
Underrated.
No Nut November.
Overrated. Yeah.
Yeah, No Shave November. Not that I can grow a beard, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're told the rest of the year we can't. So
well, yeah.
And as soon as I can, this will never come off.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Well, and we both do it like on vacation. We'll both have a beard or a goatee or something.
It's got to be. With the vacation, unless you get like that 3 or 4 week stretch, it almost sucks, because just when it comes in and looks good, time to shave it.
Just right. Just where you get it where you like it, you're like, nope, can't do it.
The worst though, and this isn't bad because it's like I got a system to keep it squared up and trimmed and stuff.
Yeah.
But the one time you try to trim it and you go too fucking far, and you're like, oh god.
You're missing a chunk.
Oh.
Like when Tom did his eyebrows.
Oh, yeah. Somebody did Tom's eyebrows. No guard.
And then he pulls the hat down like we're not going to see it. I'm like,
why is your fucking hat so low, Tom?
I'm like, you got no eyebrows, bro. Oh, you fucking dickhead. Of course you're the one that has to see it.
That was funny shit.
That was funny. See, that idiot amuses us.
At all times.
At all times. All right, I do have one more segment. New rabbit hole music. What do you think?
I see that.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we're upgrading our technology here.
That's right.
This week on a rabbit hole, when you're laid up and you can't do anything, I was in a sling for most of the week.
Right.
Couldn't do shit. Played the UFC, the new UFC game.
How is it?
It came out. Me and boss were just. My fighter's already retired because I ran the entire gamut, and the more damage you take, the less fights you take.
Wow.
So, like, if you really have no defense and you can't finish fights,
you got an 8-fight career.
yeah, some people, but yeah, it was really awesome.
My balls was hot.
But the thing is, we're gamers.
Right.
You got to really be a smart gamer to do that, because like us, we grew up with like Tekken and Mortal Kombat, where you're mashing it and you're throwing combos and you're staying on it. In this, you throw a 4-punch combo and your guy's fucking like he's sucking wind, right? Because you're throwing too many punches and you're depleting all your energy.
Like,
so you really have to be Roy Nelson. So you really have to be like smart with your energy. You know what I mean?
Punch on kick. Oh fuck! He fell down because he's gassed.
Yeah. So what I did a lot this week is I watched a lot of UFC best fights.
Is Joe Rogan a playable character yet?
He has been in the past.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about that. Like this, I kind of just did my career and that was it.
Right.
There's some unlockables on there, like different versions of Conor McGregor in his career, which I wish, and other guys, not just Conor, Nate Diaz or somebody, but they're like locked, but they don't tell you how to unlock them.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, win this, and then you do that.
And then you get this guy.
Yeah, so I watched a lot of UFC's best fights. A lot of Bermuda's career because, he's a local kid. I've known him. He was on our show, and, just trying to show Boston, like, some of these fights that he was an entertainer. That dude was a fucking beast when he fought. I also watched shoulder surgeries.
I've been down that rabbit hole with knee surgeries.
Yeah, but you know, with my kid having one here coming up shortly, the day this come out, he'll be coming through it. You know, you just want to kind of want to. It's the worst thing, right?
Right.
And they always tell you, like, if you listen to doctor radio, don't, because it will tell you 8 million things.
You got everything.
You got everything.
Listen to
right.
It, yeah.
You kind of want to see it, but you kind of go, hey, Jesus, you know, they're going to be hammering this in, they're going to be doing that. So,
well, that's the thing. Like, if I've watched knee surgeries, and after they put everything in place, like on a replacement, they cut the bone down, they smooth it all out, they drill and hammer the fucking things in place, and then they've got your leg, and they're like bending in every which fucking way. And when you wake up, you wonder why you're dying. Yes, rhinoplasty.
Yes.
Not fun.
We were there.
We were there.
We were there for a rhinoplasty, and they took a fucking chisel. And I mean like a heavy grade chisel, not like a small one.
No.
Put it up this dude's nostril and hit it with a 3-pound sledgehammer. We're like, whoa, bang, whoa, bang. And the dude's standing there talking to us, and he's got the cartilage from the dude's nose, and he's filing it, and it's just going. And you're like, and then the guy got really creepy.
Oh God.
That was yeah.
That was something wild.
But to see that, you're like
there's no way this dude's not waking up with an excision over a fucking trillion headache.
Right. Like, unless my nose is over here, I do not want a fucking rhinoplasty.
Oh. Hashtag I want my low.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh.
All right. Then
one day.
Car detailing and rug detailing.
Yep.
Shit tons of car detailing and rug detailing. You kind of can't get enough of that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do a lot of painting right now, and I don't mean like painting.
Little trees.
No, I mean like car painting. A lot of car painting. A lot of car fixing stuff. Just stuff to keep your mind occupied.
Have you seen that? Maybe it's Rust-Oleum. The fucking giant cans like this big, and you can actually paint your car with them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it comes out looking halfway decent.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like holy shit.
Yep. So they're the things I've been kind of just falling down the rabbit hole with this week, and I fell back into The Wire. I'm about 3 seasons into The Wire again.
That's every time Carly goes away, I get back into The Sopranos. So I'm up through season 4 over her last 3 trips. Yeah. Frozen Shoulders.
Where they're stuck?
Was something I've been watching lately, because the one chiropractor, the guy I like to watch, Doug Willen, he's an animal chiropractor, and he's a person chiropractor too. And guys will come in, and their like range of motion is like, that's it.
Yeah.
And by the end, they're damn, I gotta go see him. Way up over their head, and it's moving again. But just what the machines and realign. He has this one. It looks like one of those standard muscle guns.
Yeah.
But it's got this flat bar attachment with 2 prongs on the end, and he uses that. And I watched him manipulate the guy's collarbone back up because it was pushed down because the muscles were so tight. And he's like, and it's fucking funny because he's like, "Oh, this is miserable," and he's just talking about it, and the fucking guy is like, tears are streaming down his face as he's working this one spot. And the other one is, it's like a piece of metal, and they're rubbing on this guy's back trying to get this fucking knot out, to the point where the skin has like. It looks like Ric Flair chopped him 7,000 times.
It gets red and hot.
Blood blistery almost. Yeah. Because they're fucking using this metal and this cream, but you can actually see the knot move as he's doing it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you watch him go up, and boom, it goes away. Like, oh shit, you got it.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, that's been there for 5 years. I don't know how you did it.
Have you ever seen the guy that hits it like with a fucking hammer?
Yeah, Bo Hightower, that's my dude.
Pow! And you're like, ooh.
He played college football. He's out in Arizona, I think.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of celebrities. He's done a ton of UFC guys. He's done a ton of wrestlers, football players, baseball players. They all go. He's like the chiropractor to the stars, I guess.
Yeah. Probably because it works.
Yeah.
You know,
he has these weird like little hammers, and the hammer and little things, and tapping away.
Yeah, but I've seen him use hardware on fucking shoulders and backs.
Well, the funniest is he's the one. It was he had Natalia Neidhart and Shayna Baszler and Roxana Perez were all there, and he's working on Italian, and she said she kept pulling her groin. So he's like fucking fist deep in her cooch, like working it, and it was like you could tell she was like loving it, but like skittish at the same time.
Like,
so he's trying to make light of it the whole time,
right?
But she just keeps like.
Have you ever seen where they pop that? Have you seen that on women? They pop their pubic bone.
No, I haven't seen.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Guy gets a girl on the table and he's like, he puts his hand like right, like almost like he's about to turn the corner, and all of a sudden he goes, and it pops it, like right there, and they're like, ooh,
weird.
Yeah, I never knew you could do that, but apparently that's a big thing. Like they hold tension there,
yeah,
and you can release it.
I've seen, the frozen shoulders, a lot of neck stuff, and like he's like just feeling around his gate. Your C1 and your C2 are one's not gliding properly over the other, so he all of a sudden he's like hugging him real tight, and then it's like, oh my god, feels better.
There it is. All the blood goes to his brain.
For people who think that chiropractic care is a shady chiropractors out there, making $1, but I think the proof's in the pudding.
But I think there's something about your skeletal system being in alignment,
right? Like he does the whole thing. The legs, the hip joints. Like I can tell you right now, if I lay flat, face down, one leg is like probably 2 inches shorter than the other. And that's my hips are out of
Do we got to put the shoe on you?
No shoe.
And the hook with the cane?
I think so. But there's something to it. I mean, it's definitely something that can be realigned. Yeah,
well, that's the thing, right? Like, so you hear these things like, oh, you have an injury, so you've been balancing, your other leg is doing it. So now your knee's in this way because you're favoring it, you know?
And then the muscles get tight because they're being overworked.
Right, so now you're all out of alignment.
One thing becomes...
Right.
And that's
you're tracking down the road wrong, you know?
Yeah, and then he could be working on something up here, which is going to release something down there. I mean, it's the body. I mean, some of these guys are top dollar, and they're worth every penny.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love to know if I could definitely go to a chiropractor, but they couldn't work on my neck because of the fusions. They could work on the rest.
You ever see like a guy come in, his back's all bent, and a dude just like karate chops him, and he's like,
some of the there's some of them. They're like in other countries where the dude's got a hunchback and is laying on the table, and this guy takes a fucking sledge and a board, lays the board on top of the hump, and it's wham, and the fucking guy at the table is screaming. I'm like, there's no way that's good for him.
Yeah,
that can't be good.
But then the guy walks for the first time in like 10 years.
He got wheeled in and he walks out.
Yeah. It's some wild shit. But they're the things you fall down, man. Like all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to bed. 3 hours later, apparently I'm not fucking going to bed.
Yeah. There was another thing. It was a baseball thing. The shadow players, they call them. It was the guys from the steroid era.
Yeah.
Who were overlooked because of all the guys from the steroid era. Guys that had really good long careers.
Guys that were like 30 home run guys
like
that weren't.
Tim Salmon. How often do you talk about Tim Salmon? The guy was a 30 homer, 100 RBI guy for like 10 years. Mark Race led the major leagues in hits for the decade of the 90s.
Right.
These are guys that were really good ball players that could overshadow.
What about like Jim Edmonds?
He's another one.
You know what I mean?
His career got shortened because of injuries. But Larry Walker, and he's in the Hall now.
Yeah.
It's just, a lot of the negative press overshadowed a lot of these guys. They don't get enough credit for the years they did put in and had to play. They played the level. They tried to play a level playing field against something that was stacked against them and did well. Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling about that. Major League Baseball was on the brink of being extinct.
Oh,
then
take it all.
and McGuire and Sosa
saved
it, and then they turned their back on them. Like that's the dirtiness of America.
It is.
Here. No. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Like, and then they turn their back on them guys, and they blackball them.
You go back in the 70s, and I remember Pete Rose talking about there were literally bowls of amphetamines in these locker rooms.
Greenies.
Yeah. Go and take a handful, and you're friggin'. You're taking speed. You're out of your mind, and you go out and play the game.
Where do you fall on the argument that the Major League Baseball season is has now become unimportant because the number one seeds are both out? They didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's almost become the NBA where you've played so many games and it doesn't matter. You got so many playoff. It's just like
You're not being properly well. You're not being rewarded for being number one anymore.
Right.
Because now it's like this in every sport. The hot team is the team that's going to win.
Right.
But where the Diamondbacks and the Rangers have been in the playoffs, if it was back to the old format where the top three teams go.
Or way back, it was just the ALCS, NLCS, and World Series.
It was AL East, AL West, NL East, NL West, and that was a wrap.
And there's parts of me that thinks like, if you're going to have a season that's that long,
right,
you should then therefore have maybe only 4 spots for the playoffs, and it be just split it AL and NL, the top 2 teams on each side.
I was happy
because then it makes the season matter.
It does. I was good with it when they went to the 3 divisions in each league, having your 3 winners and a wild card, and that was it. And your wild card was the best of the rest. Now it's 3 wild cards, and then they have
2.
They have the playing game before the
it's really game 163.
Yeah, before the divisional championship series starts, you have that playing game for one more team.
Right.
Listen, the Rangers got hot, super hot. They're still hot, and it carried them right through the play. It carried them right into the World Series.
Yeah. Did you see the weird stat that it's something with Arizona being in the World Series? That they were in the World Series in 2001 and 2023. Mm-hmm. All the World Series games are on the same day as in 01.
Really?
And now, George Bush threw out the first pitch of the World Series in 01 and now, because it was 9/11.
Wow.
It was fucking wild, dude. Like, it was wild, all the things that happen that make, this World Series for Arizona be exactly.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I like parity. I'm glad that it's 2 new teams. I'm
tired Me too, of seeing, but I guarantee you the numbers are tanking.
Probably, because not everybody thinks like us.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've watched an inning of baseball all year.
I've watched some, but not nearly what I used to.
It doesn't. The way they play baseball now doesn't move me at all.
I don't like the fact that, and listen, the guy's a talented ball player. Kyle Schwarber, they're saying, is the new typical leadoff hitter because his on-base percentage was like .390. He had 43 homers, 110 RBIs. He batted .196.
And he's a leadoff hitter.
And he's the leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
.196.
Come on.
Now, .220 is acceptable as a batting average. Because if you're going to walk 110 times like Pete Alonso and hit 45 home runs, we'll take you .220.
Yeah, but even a guy like A-Rod fights that. He's like, there's no way. He goes, that was not acceptable.
It's not.
That's all because of this launch angle and all.
You're a marginal.
If you could go back in time, would you kneecap the fucking dude with the metrics?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck that Moneyball bullshit. I'd beat that little nerd up.
Dude, if you're looking by today's standards, if you look at like Dave Kingman, he'd be a god. Because the guy hit .210 every year with 50 homers.
Right.
It's just not. It's not baseball. What happened?
Right, like a guy like George Foster back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
your leadoff hitter was always the high average speed guy.
Right.
Your 2 hole was an on base guy. Your 3, 4, and 5 were your
your 3 was your best hitter. Your 4 was your power hitter that didn't hit for average.
And your 5th was.
And your 5 was might not have hit for the homers, but had a better average than the 4 guy, but could hit homers.
Right.
Yeah.
And your 8, 7, 8, 9 were your 7, 8, 9.
Or your 9 was your super leadoff.
Yeah.
You wanted to hit the speed at the bottom.
In the AL.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just, do I miss pitchers batting? Not really. I mean, I'm fine with the DH in both leagues, but there's still pitchers out there that can mash, and they pinch hit.
Yeah, but you know what I think is bullshit about that? I think if you're going to have an all-time DH, you should be able to pick who you DH.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a second baseman and you're not hitting, and my pitcher can hit, my pitcher should be able to
hit from that spot.
With the understanding, if he doesn't pitch a complete game, whoever comes in is batting.
Yeah.
Because you DH'd for the second baseman today.
Yeah. And now they got to start giving credence to career DHs for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because there's only been Harold Baines and Edgar. I don't even know if Edgar's in. I could be misspeaking. Harold Baines is in. He was a DH for probably 2/3
not
of
for
his
nothing.
career.
Big Poppy was really a DH.
Frank Thomas, a lot later in his career, was mostly
but he played a lot of first base.
He did early on.
Poppy didn't play first base at all, really. Like in Minnesota, maybe.
First couple of years in Boston.
Yeah. But he didn't play that much.
No, these guys were mainly designated hitters.
Right.
Which, listen, I think personally, it's harder to be the guy that is sitting cold on the bench all night.
Well,
to get up 5 times.
It can be. It's a certain mentality.
But they also, I'm looking at it from a kid who only played Babe Ruth. You know.
Yeah, no, I know.
These guys can go out and take 50 cuts in the.
They're down in the tunnel,
right?
Yeah, no, I
get warm, but it is a whole. It's weird. It's weird.
How the fuck did we fall down this baseball rabbit hole? Yeah.
But you know what? All sports now are not what we used to watch.
No, we're the old hats, though.
We are. We're the ones that bitching about the old days.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like, it's just a difference. It's part of being almost 50, right? Like things are just different now.
Yeah.
You know, like in some ways, like you watch Gen X, like we've been through it, man. You talk about like, you know, the boomers and how they went to production jobs and whatever, and TV was the big thing and whatnot. Well, we were like the internet, the cell phone, the you know, all that. Like that was our time frame. Like the new modern renaissance was and we're the ones that we kind of managed it the best.
Yeah.
Because we came in at the ground floor. We're still figuring out the technology now.
Yeah.
You know,
now kids coming in now, it's part of
it's
their
just
life.
part of their life. It's just where they're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instant. You know, they didn't have to learn the Dewey Decimal System.
Instant gratification.
Card cataloging. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
But then at the same time, they're missing out on the Sears catalog and
hell yeah,
you know, Christmas time and all that stuff. Like, so like we killed our traditions off. So you know what I mean? It's like what's good and what's bad about it. That's a whole nother show. But
yeah, like this will be the first year Christmas shopping that I asked both boys about. Chris told me last year. Next year, just do a joint present for him and Hannah.
Yeah.
And I asked Max, and he said, "Oh, just." I said, "Do you want presents, or you guys want a joint present?" He's like, "Oh, probably a joint present." I was like, "It's done now until grandkids."
Yeah, I know, and it gets shitty. Like me at Christmas, and we'll talk about it more when we get closer to Christmas time. I want something fun. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's a board game.
Right.
I don't care if it's a video game. I want something that that is of some amusement.
Absolutely.
I don't want just like fucking socks or something that's practical.
Right.
I want something that, you know, is fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care if you put, you know, a hooker in lingerie under the tree. Something fun.
Oh, man. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Where do you stand on gambling?
As far as what?
Like going to the casinos.
I like it.
I
like it, but I'm a person that if I have $100 or $200 in my pocket, I gamble out of one pocket, and when I win, it goes in the other pocket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to go there accepting like this is the amount of money I plan to lose, spend. Because if you went for dinner and a show, it would have been that same $100 or $50 or $200.
True.
So you say this is the money I'm going to mess with, and then anything I win, I'll put in the other pocket.
Right. I just don't allow. I don't allow myself to go down that rabbit hole.
Well, no, because if you have an addictive personality,
right, and I can,
you can.
So I don't. I choose to just not like. When we went to Atlantic City this summer, it was cool walking through the casinos, but I played a grand total of $40.
You know where you would be successful, and you probably shouldn't go.
Where?
Vegas, because if you sat in a live sports book, you know, like basketball and stats, and you're a savant with that shit. That's how Troy makes his money because he does like prop bets.
Right.
Oh, we're playing in Utah after you're coming to elevation. You know what I mean?
I did.
I'm going to take the under
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you do these prop bets, live betting.
I've only done since the NFL season started this year. I only played 1 week. I only played $25. I didn't
Right,
hit.
but that's we're sitting on an app.
Right.
When you're in a sports book and it's live, like on this drive, you can bet how many first down. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
different.
Yeah. I remember the biggest prop bet I ever had that paid off. I picked 10 players in baseball that had to get hits that night. In all 10.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at the pitching matchups and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be good tonight.
Yeah. And what it hit for?
It came down. I played $5 and it hit for like 220. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that's a good day.
It was good. It came down to Yordan Alvarez, and he comes up in the 8th, 0 for 3, and he hits an absolute piss missile. I'm like, oh, there we go, I won.
There you go. Well, remember years ago I won on Bubba Watson winning the Masters.
That's right.
Big too. I won big on a Bubba
Ross
Watson.
Chastain hit twice for me.
Yep.
2 years ago, I think, on NASCAR.
Yep. And NASCAR at the end of the year last year, I won like $300 just picking. I think it was the Martinsville race that just happened this week, right? So yeah, I mean, I do it, but I'm smart about it. Like I know how hard I work, and I'm not in a comfortable place where I can just throw away a couple $100.
Chris and I were bullshitting about this before. That's where it was in my head fresh. We were talking about when he goes down yearly for Swim King, when they go down for their yearly conference, all the swimming pools, it goes to one casinos, they have the big conference, and then they go out.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm bringing, I think he brings $1,000, 500 for dinners, but he never ends up spending it because all the companies end up picking the bill. And then he has 500 to gamble with. And I said, well, how do you do it? He's like, normally if I start hitting and hitting good, that money I'll put aside. I'll leave it in the room. Whatever's left in my pocket is what I'll finish the night off with. And he said this year is doing it different. He's going to high roller slots. He's doing 5 $100 pulls. And whatever he hits, he hits. And if he doesn't hit, he's walking out.
Really?
All right. So what if you hit for like $5,000? I said, would you put 1,000 on one pull? He's like, man, I don't know if I got the nuts to do that.
Yeah.
I said, but if you did and you hit the jackpot, you'll talk like $50,000. He goes, Dad, if I hit that, I'm fucking Ubering home right from the casino right then and there.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Listen, Matt, he's been on here. I went with him. He had a $250 free play, and it was $7,000 in 10 minutes, and he lost it all.
That would kill me.
And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, well, we just got here. I didn't want you to stop. I go, you cash out.
Right.
We'll go eat a really good dinner and get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely.
I'm good. I'm like, what are you doing?
Now, the most I ever gambled in one night, it was Blaze's bachelor
To be
party.
fair, though, he won it back up to like $5,000.
He's
good.
Had huge nights.
Yeah.
One night, the most I ever spent, I think, was like $150. It was Blaze's bachelor party years ago. And I got up to the point where I had doubled my money, and I should have just walked away.
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving with $40.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, it's fun while you're winning, and when you're not, and trying to get that next. It's like the crack addict trying to get the next high.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
and that's why it's an addictive thing.
You think about how, I don't say sleazy is the wrong word, but the casinos know why they're there. They're there to make their money.
Oh yeah, have this free room because you spent $10,000. You keep spending.
Or
what do they give a shit?
We're gonna keep bringing free drinks to your seat,
right.
So get hammered and keep spending.
Mm-hmm.
You can go over to the friggin' counter over there and sign over the mortgage to your fucking house.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy it. I don't mind. Like Saratoga's not bad because they got the trotters out back.
Right.
So like, if you want to slow it down,
that's a different kind of gambling.
But know what I'm saying? Like when you have the, but you can go on a floor
too. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the racino.
Right.
But if you want to slow it down and make your money spread out, you can go and watch a couple of races.
Right.
But if not, you know what I mean? You're not. So
yeah.
I don't know. I like Rivers though. But again, like me, a roulette wheel. I like the roulette wheel.
Do you pick numbers or just go black red?
Well, no, I pick numbers. But like I had to watch and learn how to bet. Like I didn't know how to bet really. I didn't know you could do like a corner bet or just odds or just evens.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so like there's numbers like a grid. The grid comes down, and if you put it on the four corners there, it cuts the amount. But if any of those four numbers hit, you hit.
Got you.
You know what I mean? You could put it in between two.
Right.
So like I don't know if it's like 10 and 17 are next to each other, and you put it like on the line between them. If any of those two numbers hit,
Right.
so instead of being like I don't know, say it's 4-1, it would be like 2-1.
They said Colonel Parker was such a degenerate gambler, and he was terrible at it. Like he ended up owing the casinos millions of dollars. To when after Elvis died and he was out of the managing game, he became a greeter and lived at a casino because he was working off his debt.
Oh yeah,
That's
sure.
He died an old broke old man.
Yeah.
But they said they would watch him gamble and figure out in their own minds he's never going to win because he would put chips on everything.
Right.
So you might hit, but you already laid out more in bets than you're going to win back.
Right. Right.
Is it just for the feeling of hey, I won?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, that's an illness.
It is an illness.
That's an illness. So, yeah. I mean, that's one of those things you got to be careful about. And we don't come from a place where we just have expendable funds.
Exactly.
Like that. We're gambling, just fucking getting to the car.
These days, you're not shit.
Yeah.
So.
Nice, easy conversation tonight. Yeah. It was good. We do have a guest coming up shortly.
Yeah.
Which will be good. From Shakuzi Family Health there. So he'll be in that. I don't know when exactly that'll air, if it's going to air next week or the week after, but we'll have a normal show and that.
Yep.
And, then we're going to be in the thick of holiday season.
Yep.
Because it's
right
Thanksgiving, it's coming. You know what I mean?
November 1st is 2 days away.
Well, as this airs, it'll be
November.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's all I got, buddy. You got anything else?
No, I'm all good.
All right, take us home.
All right, for Gmac, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast, and as always,